If you're struggling with sleep, then you have come to the right place. Today, we're going to break down 9 science-backed habits that can absolutely transform your nights.
Welcome to SciSage, where everything is simple. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there, just staring at the ceiling, wondering, why can't I just fall asleep? It is so frustrating, and it can totally wreck your entire next day. But what if I told you that a few small, science-backed changes could make all the difference? Look, on their own, these habits are pretty good, but when you start stacking them, that's when the magic really happens, and you get that truly restorative night's rest. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with the core science, your internal clock. Then we'll walk through your day, from morning habits to your evening wind-down. We'll even design the perfect sleep sanctuary before we reveal the one habit that anchors everything else.
So, you might think a great night's sleep starts in the evening, right? Well, nope. It actually starts the moment you wake up, and it all comes down to your body's internal clock.
This master clock is called your circadian rhythm. Think of it like the conductor of an orchestra inside your body. It's telling it when to release certain hormones, when to raise or lower your temperature, and most importantly, when it's time to feel awake and when it's time to feel sleepy.
Okay, but here's the wild part. Your internal clock isn't a perfect 24 hours. On average, it's actually a little bit longer, about 24 hours and 15 minutes. And that means every single day, it needs a little reset. So how does it reset? Well, things like when you eat or when you exercise, they give it clues. But the number one most powerful signal your body uses is sunlight. Light is literally what anchors that slightly off clock to a perfect 24-hour day.
And that, right there, leads us straight to habit number 1. Get at least 20 minutes of sunlight right after you wake up. This sends a powerful signal to your body that the day has officially started, which, in turn, helps it know exactly when to start winding down later.
All right, so we've set our clock. That's step 1. Next, let's look at a key habit you can do during the day that really paves the way for a better night's sleep.
And that brings us to habit number 2, getting some regular exercise. I mean, this is a huge one. There was actually a study on folks with severe insomnia, and get this, regular exercise was more effective than most sleeping drugs. That's how powerful this is.
So why does it work so well? It helps you fall asleep faster, and you wake up less during the night. The key is timing, though. You want to aim for the morning or afternoon. Why? Because exercise jacks up your heart rate, your adrenaline, your body temp, basically all the things you don't want happening when your head is about to hit the pillow.
Okay, the day is winding down. Now, you can't just go from 60 to 0. You can't just finish up a crazy busy day, jump into bed, and expect to pass out instantly. You have to actively teach your brain that it's time to power down.
This is where a wind-down ritual comes in, and it actually includes our next few habits. First, habit number 3, unplug. Turn off the TV, put the phone away. Then for habit 4, swap that screen time with something that actually calms you down. You could read a physical book, listen to some chill music, or journal to get your thoughts out of your head. And if your mind is still racing, even just a few minutes of meditation can be a total game changer.
This brings us to habit number 5, and it's all about psychological association. See, your brain is basically a pattern-matching machine. So if you're working in bed or watching shows in bed, you're literally training your brain that your bed is a place for being awake and active. If you use your bed only for sleep, well, your brain creates this super powerful connection. Bed equals sleep. Simple as that. Okay, so we've talked about your internal clock and your habits. Now let's talk about your space, your actual bedroom, because you can totally engineer it to be the perfect sleep sanctuary. The source material uses this fantastic analogy, and I absolutely love it. Think of your bedroom as a cave. And what are the key things about a cave? Right, it's quiet, it's cold, and it's dark. Let's start with cold. This is habit number 6. For you to actually fall asleep, your body's core temperature has to drop. So keeping your room in that cooler range, right around 60 to 68 Fahrenheit, it just makes that whole process way easier for your body. And this leads to a really cool kind of counterintuitive trick, taking a hot bath about an hour before bed. I know it sounds weird, right? A hot bath to get cold? But here's the science. The hot water pulls all the blood to the surface of your skin. Then, when you get out, all that heat radiates away from your body, causing your core temperature to drop pretty fast. It's an amazing sleep hack.
So let's pull it all together. Here's your checklist for that perfect sleep gate, and this covers our next couple of habits. First, habit 7, keep it dark, and I mean really dark. Your skin actually has light receptors, so blackout curtains are your best friend here. Next,
Habit 8, keep it quiet. Eliminate any noise you can, or try earplugs or a white noise machine. So you've got dark, quiet, cool, and a bed that's only for sleep. That's your sanctuary. All right, we have covered some seriously effective habits, but I've saved the most important one, the most critical one for last. This is the real anchor, the one that holds everything else together. And look, the source material couldn't be more direct about this. I'm going to quote it for you. If there's only one piece of advice you take from this explainer, this should be it. That's how important this next one is. And here it is, the big one, habit number 9. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day. And yes, that includes weekends. I know, but consistency is everything. When you have a regular schedule, you're training your body's hormones. You're teaching your system when to feel sleepy and when to feel awake. Seriously, more than anything else, this is the habit that will stop all that frustrating tossing and turning.
So we've covered a ton of powerful habits today, from getting that morning sunlight to building your own personal sleep cave. So my question for you is, what's the one habit you're going to try tonight? What's one small change you can make right now that's going to set you up for a better tomorrow?